going on? How you feeling? You feeling better
A
or
little bit,
still
but
lagging?
still lagging. But
Mm.
trying to get it together.
All right. Well, happy Friday. Happy Good
Happy
Friday.
Friday. Happy Good Friday as well.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Back in January, I did my mid-season NBA awards.
Mm-hmm.
This is going to be my updated list. Um, some of them are going to be the same,
Okay.
and some of them will be different at this point. So let's get it. First, most improved player. Back in January, and I have a video on that. So if you want to go back and watch my mid-season awards, you can watch that.
Okay.
But anyway, most improved player. In January, I had Lauri Markkanen. I still have Lauri Markkanen of the Utah Jazz, power forward.
Mm-hmm.
He is currently averaging 25.6 points a game, 8.6 rebounds, and 1.9 assists. Last season, he only averaged 14.8 points, 5.7 rebounds, and 1.3 assists. He's made basically 11-point jump in his average. He went from being a good player to a very, very good player. Mm-hmm. And he went from being a good player to an all-star this season.
Nice. Good for him.
So, yeah, I got to have him as my most improved player. Also about Lauri Markkanen, he's from Finland. He's got one of the best nicknames in the NBA as far as I'm concerned. He's from Finland, and they call him the finisher.
Okay.
I like it.
Nice.
Lauri
I like
Markkanen,
it too.
the finisher.
All right.
So Lauri Markkanen gets my respect. Most improved player. Also, another thing about Lauri Markkanen. In Finland, they have required military service. Mm-hmm. And you have to do it, males in Finland have to do it by the time they're 30 years old. Lauri Markkanen is in the NBA making millions of dollars. And he's choosing this summer to go back to Finland and fulfill his military obligation.
Nice.
So I give him a lot of respect and credit for that. Because I'm pretty sure he could probably get out of doing that.
Right.
But he's always wanted to do it. And he said he would always do it when he found time to do it. So he's going back to Finland this summer to fulfill his military obligation to his country. I give him a lot of respect and credit for that.
Good for him.
So shout out to Lauri Markkanen and good for him. Next up, Rookie of the Year. Back in January, I had Paolo Banchero. I still have Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic, power forward as well. Mm-hmm. He's averaging 20 points, 7 rebounds, and almost 4 assists. I don't think it's even close in terms of him being Rookie of the Year. I think he's definitely going to win it. Mm-hmm. I don't see anybody coming close to him as a rookie in terms of his production.
Okay.
He's just been very steady the whole season. And I think Paolo Banchero will win it. I'm not going to spend too much time on him because I think most likely he's going to get that award. I don't think he has that much competition. Mm-hmm. But I will give a shout out to Ben Mathurin of the Indiana Pacers, who's having a very good rookie season. Mm-hmm. Also, Keegan Murray of the Sacramento Kings, who's having a very good rookie season as well. But I think ultimately it's going to be Paolo Banchero.
Okay.
Defensive Player of the Year. January, I had Jaren Jackson Jr. I still have Jaren Jackson Jr.
Okay.
Another power forward for the Memphis Grizzlies. He's averaging 3 blocks, 1 steal, 18.3 points a game, 6.8 rebounds, and 1 assist. But I'll focus on the 3 blocks and the 1 steal. Mm-hmm. For a power forward, that's very good numbers. Very good numbers. He's been constant all year on defense. And this is a season where Steven Adams was hurt a lot, who's the center of that team, who's also a pretty good defender. But he didn't have the luxury of having Steven Adams, next to him for a large part of the season. Brandon Clark, another good power forward on the team, got hurt as well. Mm-hmm. So Jaren Jackson has been the backbone of that team and really anchoring the back line of that defense. Mm-hmm. So there's other defensive players that could win this award, but I got to go with Jaren Jackson Jr. You also got Brook Lopez of Milwaukee Bucks, who's actually been very good on defense. this season. You got his teammate Drew Holiday, who's also been very good on defense. You got Marcus Smart also, Boston Celtics, but I got to go Jaren Jackson Jr. here.
Okay.
My defensive player of the year, Jaren Jackson Jr. Still have him. Sixth man of the year. In January, I had Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook was with the Lakers at the time. He's now with the Clippers. But Russell Westbrook was putting up very good numbers for the Lakers at the time. He got criticized a lot, but once they started bringing him off the bench, his numbers increased, and he started playing much better with the Lakers at that point. Being there, he's with the Clippers now, and he's actually starting. Last time I checked, he's now starting. He's not coming off the bench. I changed my pick. I have Malcolm Brogdon of the Boston Celtics, the guard for the Boston Celtics, who comes off their bench, averaging 15 points a game, about 4 rebounds, and about 4 assists a game, off the bench in only 26 minutes a game. It's a lot of production in 26 minutes. And he's on one of the best teams in the league. I gotta take Malcolm Brogdon. He's capable of being a starter. He hasn't complained. He's been coming off their bench, and he's just been an asset for them off their bench. He's one of the best bench players in the league, and I gotta go Malcolm Brogdon here. Okay. So I changed from Russell Westbrook to Malcolm Brogdon. He's my sixth man of the year.
And that's strictly because Russell no longer.
He's in the starting lineup now for his current team. He plays for LA Clippers now.
Right.
He's in the starting lineup, so it's not a knock on Russell.
Right.
Russell is actually playing very well for the Clippers, but he's not coming off the bench anymore. So I kind of had to switch it up. I had to switch it up.
Right.
He's not really a sixth man anymore.
Correct.
Malcolm Brogdon has come off the bench the majority of the time for the Celtics this season. So I have to lean his way.
Okay, shout out to
Malcolm Brogdon for doing, and he represents the NBA very well.
Nice.
Very well. I think he's part of the NBA Players Association. I think he works heavily with them. He's been a model citizen since he's been in the NBA. I think his nickname is the President.
Aww.
Because people say that Malcolm Brogdon is very reminiscent of Barack Obama. Just the way he carries himself. He's extremely intelligent. And yes, he's been a model citizen since he's been in the NBA.
Nice.
Very well respected and very intelligent. So shout out to Malcolm Brogdon. Honorable mention though, Immanuel Quickley, my New York Knick.
Of course. We had to have a Knick in there.
He could very well win Sixth Man of the Year.
But
I actually like him to win Sixth Man of the Year because Immanuel Quickley is one of my favorite players. But I try to be unbiased when it comes to these things, even though I'm a diehard Knick fan.
As we can see.
You can clearly see that. But the Celtics have a better record than the Knicks. So I take that into consideration when it comes to some of these awards. And Quickley is putting up around the same amount of points as Brogdon off the bench. But Quickley has started a number of games because of Jalen Brunson injury. I think R.J. Barrett injury and Quentin Grimes injury. Quickley has started some games. But again, the Celtics are a better team than the Knicks. So I give Brogdon the edge.
Right.
But I have to shout out Immanuel Quickley because he deserves the award as well. He's one of the players in the running for the award. But I think ultimately I got to give the edge to Malcolm Brogdon. Even though I love Immanuel Quickley. But I have to give him an honorable mention. I also got to give Bobby Portis an honorable mention, too, for the Milwaukee Bucks.
Okay.
He comes off their bench, and he does a phenomenal job for them. So he's also another player that's in the running, Bobby Portis. Let's go to Coach of the Year. Back in January, I had Willie Green of the New Orleans Pelicans. At the time, the Pelicans were 26-17. They were third in the West. So I had Willie Green as my Coach of the Year. He's no longer my coach of the year, but it's not because he hasn't done a good job. It's because Zion Williamson has been hurt. He got hurt. Brandon Ingram has been in and out of the lineup. He's been hurt. CJ McCollum at one point got hurt. So they had a lot of injuries this season. So I can't have Willie Green as my coach of the year anymore. But again, it's not his fault. But his team was ravaged with injuries.
Right.
They were third in the West in January. I think now they're eighth. So they took a big slide.
Yeah.
So now my coach of the year is Mike Brown of the Sacramento Kings. They are 48-32 currently, and they're third in the West. And the Sacramento Kings they've been a bad team in recent history. They're having a really good season.
Good for
And
them.
Mike Brown, I think hands down, is going to be coach of the year. I don't even think it's close at this point. I think Mike Brown is definitely going to be the coach of the year. I'd be surprised if he's not. So I had to make the switch to Mike Brown.
Okay.
Again, shout out to Willie Green. It's not his performance. It's just injuries. Injury is the reason why I don't have him as coach of the year anymore. But shout out to Mike Brown. I think he'll definitely win coach of the year.
Okay.
Next award, the biggest award, and the most controversial award as far as I'm concerned, is the MVP. Back in January, I had Luka Doncic as my MVP. A lot of people will say that's a crazy pick at this point. But mind you, in January, the Dallas Mavericks were 24-20. They were fifth in the West. Luka was averaging almost 34 points a game, 9 rebounds, and almost 9 assists a game. He was putting up unbelievable numbers, and his team was playing pretty well. Since then, the Dallas Mavericks have acquired Kyrie Irving, and it hasn't really been working out. They've taken a slide. At that point, they were fifth in the West. Right now, I think they're about 11th. They're not even in the playoff picture right now.
Wow.
They're just out of the playoff picture, the play-in picture. So I can't have Luka as my MVP anymore.
Okay.
Still like Luka,
Right.
but there are too many other worthy candidates at this point. The worthy candidates are the Greek Freak, who's always a candidate. Giannis is always a candidate.
Right.
Nikola Jokic, who's won the last 2 MVPs, and Joel Embiid. Jason Tatum was in the race, but I think he's kind of fallen out a little bit. But I got to go Joel Embiid for my MVP this season. Joel Embiid is averaging over 33 points a game. He's averaging over 10 rebounds a game. And he's averaging over 4 assists a game. And Philly is third in the East. Joel Embiid is having a monster season. To me, he's been the most dominant player in the league this season. And he's been relatively healthy, which in the past he's had a lot of injuries. But he's been healthy this season, and I hope he wins his first MVP award this season. I think Giannis deserves it almost every year. I think he's capable of winning it every year. Giannis has already won 2 of them. He could very well win 3. I won't have any issue with Giannis winning, with Joel Embiid winning, or with Jokic winning.
Okay.
I just got to give Joel Embiid the edge this season. Because to me, he's having the best season he's ever had. And his team is winning. But all 3 of those candidates they deserve the award. But I got to give Joel Embiid the edge.
The edge. Okay.
I give him a slight edge. But I wouldn't be surprised if the other 2 were to win. Either of the other 2 were to win. I would not be surprised. But Joel Embiid, to me, he has my vote for MVP. So, in closing, we got Most Improved Player, Lauri Markkanen of the Utah Jazz. We got Rookie of the Year, Paolo Banchero of the Orlando Magic. We got Defensive Player of the Year, Jaren Jackson Jr. of the Memphis Grizzlies. We got Sixth Man of the Year, Malcolm Brogdon of the Boston Celtics. We got Coach of the Year, Mike Brown of the Sacramento Kings. And MVP, I got Joel Embiid, center for the Philadelphia 76ers. And that'll be it.
Okay. All right. Well, Oh, thank you. We'll see how the season pans out.
Yes.
We're getting down to the wire.
Yeah, I think Sunday is the end of the regular season. This coming
Okay.
Sunday.
So we'll see how it goes. Well, thanks so much for stopping by. We hope you feel better soon.
Yeah.
And we wish everyone a happy Resurrection weekend.
Yes.
Okay.
That is it. Peace.